Hey guys, I'm just gonna wait a few more minutes just to kind of let everyone get in here, and then we'll start this off. Where is everyone tuning in from? If you don't mind putting in where you're tuning in from. I myself, I'm from Raleigh, North Carolina, so just enjoying the nice 45, 46 degree weather outside, nice and sunny, pretty cloudy actually now. But where's everyone tuning in from so far? Heck, go Bills, man. I'm not gonna say that I'm a fan, but stepdad's a big fan, so go blue. I gotta say around here. All right, Charlotte, I love it. I'll be in Charlotte next weekend. Next week I'll be visiting some family in Charlotte, so that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Charlotte as well. Okay. See, we got some Charlotte people in here. Okay. Philippines. I like to see it. Reaching out to everyone. I love it. Canada. That's one place I want to go that I have yet to be. Canada. Yeah. Yep. That's a great place to tune in from. That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining. I'm just going to wait a few more minutes, probably like a minute or two, just let some more people get in here. I'd like to just thank you guys for being early and on time. It's awesome. But thank you also for just showing up in general. I really appreciate it. Yeah, excited to learn. Yeah, I'm excited to hear any questions you guys have, to be honest. As we're kind of going through this, I'm going to stop maybe 2 or 3 times and just allow you guys to ask me some questions. If it's a question that I just can't answer right now, I'll just push it off and I'll email you about it. If you just leave your email after, I'll let you know if I can answer it, though. I should be able to answer just about any questions y'all got for me. Been doing this for quite a while. I've had quite a few good mentors that have helped me along the way. It's just understanding the best ways, best practices, just overall experience. And I myself have been doing this for about 3 years, so I've got some time under my belt and a little bit of experience as well. From California. Oh my. Okay. All right. All over the coast. I think we've covered a good bit of the globe so far. That is awesome. I am from Florida, so I'm used to all the sunshine like you guys are in California. Let me tell you, the Sunshine State, it does not lie. It's sunny 24/7 there. And there really is just no winter. It's always warm. But California is unique. Y'all got the mountains and the beach basically right there. So like, are you a mountains person or are you a beach person? I mean, the question is in the answer right there. If you go to California, you're both. You have the mountains 5 minutes away, and you're also 5 minutes from the water. I mean, that's just the perfect combination. All right, so we got about 20 people in here. I'm just going to go ahead and start talking about this. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask the questions in chat. I'll try to answer them as best I can. If you have any questions after as well, my email will be there at the end. Feel free to email me, ask me absolutely any questions. Just let me know you're here. You have any questions, I'm happy to even just set up a quick call with you just to talk about anything that I can help you with. A skier, and that's one of the few things I have yet to do that I really want to. I've done surfing, I've done skateboarding, I've done biking. So I think snowboarding is probably where I would fit myself into. I feel like the skiing's too difficult for me. Having the 2 sticks and the 2 things on your feet, that's just, I feel like that would make me nervous. I'd be going down a hill. Now you're supposed to like tuck it under your arms when you're going. I feel like I'd get so nervous. I'd just fall right off. I think snowboarding would be easier, but I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. Well, first off, thank you guys for joining the LinkedIn Bootcamp. I really do appreciate y'all's time. Even if you don't stay for the whole time, I appreciate you guys just tuning in. For any amount of time, you know that social selling on any platform can be tough if you've been doing it at any time in your life, or if you ever just attempted doing it, it's tough. And even for the most experienced sales professionals, it can be a big learning curve. The results you do, if you do the things right, they just can't be matched. They're by far just the leading statistic. It is so easy to see the results as soon as you just start doing the small things. The small things, they add up, and they may not seem like a big deal right now, but they add up. And that's why we've made this boot camp. This is designed specifically for B2B salespeople. So in this 45 to an hour long course, you'll learn the basics that you'll need to know about selling on LinkedIn. Think of it as LinkedIn 101, from how to create an effective profile to use LinkedIn's search tool, just how to use it and how to find potential customers using the parameters that it gives you. In the future, we'll be putting together a series of 201 trainings on how to use specific features of the platform more effectively. But for now, I'll just be covering a lot of topics in a short amount of time as more of like an overview. Think of it as like a 1,000-foot view. So if you're ready to take your sales results to the next level, I will give you the DL, down low. Additionally, we'll be going and answering questions along the way. Like I said earlier, I'll probably have like 2 or 3 times that I'll stop while you guys just ask questions, whether it's just an in general question or if it's just a question of something we've already gone over. So if you guys have any questions on a certain slide or topic, go ahead and put it in the chat and I'll answer them along the way. I have a little queue up, so I'll be able to see them all. All right. So to maximize your chances of success with social selling and direct selling on LinkedIn, there's a few key things we'll be covering in today's lesson. First, why LinkedIn? Social selling on LinkedIn. How can social selling be used on LinkedIn? Winning profile tips, things to keep in mind, how to prospect and sell on LinkedIn, and resources to consider. And my camera's kind of in the way, but those were the bullet points right there. So in today's digital age, your online presence is more important than ever. Potential employers or prospects will often do a quick just Google search of your name before consideration, and your social media accounts can provide them with these valuable insights into your personality and character. And I know that if you've ever hired someone, the first thing you do when they go to apply for a job at your place, you look them up on social media, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. You just want to see what they're about. How do they carry themselves? How do they care about their online presence? How is their persona? Like, do they care? Do they put enough time into how they look and how they're perceived by other people? Now, LinkedIn is one of the most important social media platforms for professionals like us. And it's important to make sure that your profile like accurately reflects who you are and what you're looking for. So the days when you could simply just put your previous job titles and your education down, it's gone. They're long gone. But now LinkedIn is all about building those relationships and networking by adding interesting like articles, joining relevant groups, engaging in discussions. You can show those potential prospects that you're someone who's worth doing business with. In short, LinkedIn is just no longer an online resume. It's your digital reputation. So you need to be treating it as such and make sure that when you're on and you care about your reputation, you're taking it just as seriously as you would if you were to shake someone's hand and you talk to them in person. So here's a few statistics to just look at that I think are super important to know. LinkedIn is the world's largest professional network with over 640 million users in more than 200 countries and regions. This is a powerful platform for building relationships, finding jobs, and driving sales. Here are some like smaller statistics that highlight the potential of LinkedIn for B2B sales professionals, like anyone watching this, I'm going to assume is. So 48.5% of the of the users in the US use LinkedIn at least once a month. 93% of B2B connected marketers use LinkedIn for organic social marketing. 4 out of 5 people on LinkedIn drive business decisions. 40% of B2B marketers surveyed indicated that LinkedIn is the most effective channel for driving high quality leads. 40%. That's not me. I'm not 40%. This is just people as a whole who use LinkedIn. These are just some things to keep in mind when we're talking about why LinkedIn, how LinkedIn, essentially. So B2B selling on LinkedIn is a powerful way to connect with potential customers and grow your business. LinkedIn is a professional network site with over 560 million members worldwide, making it a prime platform for B2B selling when it's done right. So B2B selling on LinkedIn can be an extremely effective way to reach your target market and close deals. You can reach a large and very targeted audience, and you can build trust and credibility with them just by using LinkedIn in these effective ways. You can even generate leads very easily. This is what I do every day. I use LinkedIn to generate leads, to build trust and build this large audience of people that I want to talk to. Now, one day those people are all going to become customers because I'm making sure that I'm a credible source. So if they go to my profile, they know what I'm talking about. They know I'm serious. And I show that I know what I'm talking about by my profile. Everything makes sense. I have an about me section. I use all the different sections on your LinkedIn profile, and we'll be going over this today. So don't worry if none of that made sense to you. I'll be going over all that. So if you're looking for an effective way to reach out to your market and grow your business, B2B selling on LinkedIn is definitely worth considering. And again, if by the end of this course, you're still not convinced that B2B selling on LinkedIn is one of the best things you can do, I'd be more than happy to sit down with you for 15, 20 minutes, just one-on-one. And I'd love to hear you out and talk about what that may look like for you. Because I'm so confident that it is just the most powerful thing. I'd just love to hear your opinion on it. So social selling is the practice of using social media to build relationships and close sales. In a world where everyone is nearly online, social selling provides an effective and efficient way to reach potential customers. LinkedIn is the perfect platform for social selling thanks to its large user base of professionals. Like I said earlier, about 560 million people on average will use this at least once a month. So LinkedIn always allows you to connect with these potential customers and just clients as a whole. You can share your expertise, you can build trust and credibility, and when it's done correctly, social selling can be a powerful tool for closing deals and growing your business. So social selling uses social media to build relationships and interact with potential customers. This can be done through LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Like, you can use all these different places. We specifically use LinkedIn because I think that it is just the best. I think that it has the most professional outlook on it. People will take it the most serious. When you think of Instagram, when you think of Facebook, when you think of Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, you're going to think of more interaction, more personality, less professional. You're going to be more yourself. You're going to not talk about work, right? Those are your places where you're able to get away, kind of scroll through TikTok for a little bit. You're able to scroll through Instagram for a little bit. On Facebook, you're able to see your family's pictures, family photos, friends are getting married. Like, you're able to see all these things. On LinkedIn, it's more professional. It's more business casual, I should say. That's probably a better word to use here. And so by building relationships and engaging with these potential customers on LinkedIn, sales professionals can then generate leads and drive sales. So, however, simply having a presence on LinkedIn is just not enough to succeed at social selling. To be effective, sales professionals as a whole, we need to use strategies that are specifically designed for the platform. So, for example, you should focus on creating high quality content that's tailored to your specific target audience. So you should also make sure to participate in these relevant LinkedIn groups by actively connecting with others. And if you aren't in any groups, I would advise you to reach out, just find some. It's super easy to do a quick LinkedIn search and find some groups to be a part of. We're going to start one here soon. So if you want to be a part of the grobot one, feel free to join it. I'll post on my personal LinkedIn when that goes live. I think I'm going to make one here come Monday, and I'm just going to be able to have a bunch of people connect in there and, share the thoughts likewise. You should also try to participate in just connecting with other users who maybe have the same thought leadership as you do, bouncing ideas off each other and building each other up. While you may match up with some competitors, best practice is probably not to talk to them. But if you want to connect with some other users who are in the same field as you, you may end up helping each other more than you think. So by using these other ideas and strategies, you guys can then maximize your chances of success when selling on LinkedIn. Now, these are a lot of things that I use. So a lot of the topics we're going to go over is something that I use day to day, and I have great success on LinkedIn. I still use it to this day for this exact reason. So this professional network site provides an excellent opportunity to build your brand and expand your network. By creating a profile that highlights your skills and expertise, you can attract the attention of potential employers, clients, and business partners as a whole. So LinkedIn also offers a number of features that can help you to further promote your brand. For example, you can join relevant groups. Like I said before, you can participate in discussions and post articles on your profile. Now, when I say you're going to join relevant posts, discussions, posting articles on your profile, I don't mean just posting them and completely forgetting about them. I mean, you're going to post on them and actively comment, reply to people who comment in your comment section, like posts that pertain to what you want to talk about. Doing this just helps you engage. And when LinkedIn sees you engaging with other people and with other posts, that allows you to then go out and be a little more organic growth. They're going to promote your profile a little bit more because they see you're very active. So by taking advantage of these simple practices, you can then position yourself as an expert in your field and build a very strong professional brand, because people can then go to your profile and see what you're talking about. see that you can back up what you're talking about. So building a professional brand. Well, how do I do that? Well, in today's competitive marketplace, it's more important than ever to stand out from the crowd. How do I break this noise barrier, right? How do I stand out amongst everyone else? How do I line up? Well, one way to do this is to develop your personal brand. A personal brand is the sum of who you are as a professional, your values, your judgments, your expertise, your experience in, and even some of your personality. You don't want to be bland. You don't want to be like everyone else. So your personality is specific to you. Let it shine through in your profile. Let it, come out. Let it experience the light of day. And when you're known for your integrity, let that be known. When you're known for your insight or your sense of humor, let that be known. Let it show through your profile. It's super easy to build trust and attract potential customers. In addition, a strong personal brand can help you advance your career and reach your goals. So if you're looking to take your career to the next level, start by simply developing a personal brand. Most importantly, just be authentic, be yourself, let your personality shine through that. In mine here, I have a few emojis in my my tagline. Why is that? Because I like to use emojis. If you ever talk to me over text, I use emojis. I like to laugh at everything. I like to just express myself through where I'm talking. I like to let you know how I'm feeling about the moment, whether I'm saying something funny, sad, insightful, whatever it may be. I'm going to use a few emojis in there. So I would encourage you, use a few emojis, let your personality shine through, let people know who you're talking to, like how you're talking, how would you be speaking, what's the sentiment of the conversation. Your about me section, I'll talk about this in a little bit. Make sure it's just you. Like don't just copy someone else's because it looked good. Make it you. It's yours. It's about you. It's not about what you do at your work. It's about you. So one of the most common mistakes is using the site as a platform to boast about your sales skills. Just like I was saying, your LinkedIn profile is not a place to brag about how many deals you've closed or how much money you've made for that company, whatever it may be. Instead, it should be a way to connect with other professionals, share valuable information. And if you fill your profile with self-promotional content, you'll likely turn off potential connections just because they'll see, oh, this person's just boasting about themselves the entire time. I don't really have anything in common with them. So instead, focus on providing value by sharing your expertise and your insights. By taking this approach, you're more likely to attract the attention of potential employers and clients. And that's really what LinkedIn is made for at the end of the day. Your LinkedIn profile shouldn't be how great you are at selling. It's how much advice can you give them? How much value can you bring to someone else? How much insight are you able to provide for someone else? When someone feels like they're learning, they're way more inapt to want to connect with you, to want to talk to you, to just want to be around you as a person. And that's true for all aspects of life, not just LinkedIn. So headlines. This is another super important. I was just talking about mine a little bit. I'm not going to use mine as an example just because I want to reach out a little bit. So your LinkedIn headline is one of the first things that people will see when they visit your profile. So in just a few words, it has the potential to make a strong impression and encourage people to learn more about you. So what makes a great LinkedIn headline, you may ask? Well, I have no I have no magic formula for you. I wish I did because I would just keep it to everyone. So there's a few elements that can help to ensure that your headline makes a positive impact. So let's start off by saying focus on making it clear and concise. Avoid using the jargon and buzzwords and stick to language that can be easily understood by your target audience. For your benefit, we've put together just a few formulas right here so that you can use them over and over again for your greatest results. So when I say understand your target audience and use language that can be easily understood, I don't mean simple words. I mean, when you're writing to this person, make sure your headline can be understood by a third grader. I believe a recent survey was done and it said the average person who wants to be marketed to, they want to be marketed at the third grade reading level. So when you're writing this, make sure a third grader can understand it. If you have some fancy word in your title, obviously you have a little bit of leeway, that's your actual title. But if you can avoid using those big words and explain it like you're explaining to a third grader, that is going to be the best chance that you have at someone reading it and engaging with this. So secondly, make sure your headline accurately reflects who you are and what you do. Be genuine and be authentic. I can say be authentic 1,000 times. I mean it every single time. Let it be you. It is your profile. So resist the temptation to exaggerate and make these false claims. We've all done it, okay? Finally, keep it up to date. regularly revise your headline to ensure that it remains relevant and accurate. It's such a simple thing to do, but if you change your job, just change what the headline's about. It's not very hard. If you wanted to change one of your enthusiasts, say you had, looking at these here, some people may say, I was a sales consultant 15 years. Is it 16 years now? Put it in there. It's super important. That's 16 years. You dedicated so much. Brag about it a little bit, okay? It's a little bit of brag in there. I know I said don't brag, but 16 years sounds really good, okay? Let people know you know what you're talking about. You got some skin in the game. You know what you're about. So moving on, because I can talk about this forever. Finally, just be clear and concise. Use simple language. Again, 3rd grade reading level. By following this simple formula, you can write a headline that will help you stand out from the competition and attract the right attention. So, for example, I just got some few simple headlines here. So, Chris Do, loud introvert with a big mission, teaching 1 billion people how to make a living doing what they love. Who doesn't want to be friends with this guy? Like, he's going to teach you how to make a living doing what you love. Why would I not talk to this guy? I want to be doing what I love and making a living off of it. That's what I'm doing right now. Come on. Philip Oakley, brand strategist, energetic speaker, foodie, and proud dad. Hey, if you're a foodie and a proud dad, add it in there. It is about you. It is for you. And again, adding any of your personality, being your authentic, genuine self is a great thing to do. If you can add a quick joke in there, you always say your little one-liner you can pop off, throw it in there. What's wrong with that? It is great to have your personality shine through in these moments and just allowing yourself to make your profile you. Again, this is the about you. This is your profile. This is Michael Reynolds' profile. This is Tina's profile. This is Tom's. This is Michelle's. This is your profile. Make it personal to yourself. So I'm just going to stop here for a second. I'm going to give you guys about a minute or two. If you guys have any questions about anything that I've said so far, just let me know. If not, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Either way, I just want to kind of hear, maybe I'm going a little too fast for you guys. Maybe you want me to touch on something a little bit more. And I'm curious if we have any questions so far. If not, again, just give me a thumbs up. I'm all ears for it. Also, again, I'm this is my stepdad's cup. Go blue, I guess. So it's in the family. I'm a UCF fan, though. Don't worry. I don't claim the undefeated season. I'm not gonna lie. I'm seeing some thumbs up. All right, guys. Hey, I love it. It's all good. Awesome. I love the no questions. That is awesome. Okay. Awesome. All right. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Now we're heading into like roughly my favorite section of this entire course. And it's the About Me section. You guessed it. So your LinkedIn profile is like your digital resume. It's the first place your prospects will look to learn more about you because it's the About You section. Why wouldn't they? That's why it's so important to make a great first impression. One way to do this is by crafting an engaging keyword-rich summary about your rich summary in the About You section in your profile. Again, when you're going through this, feel free to look at other people's. Like if you want to look at mine and just get some inspiration from it, that's totally fine. Use it as an inspiration, but don't copy and paste it because it's similar to yours. Make it yours. Make it personal to you. The more you can make it personal to you, the more that people will see your genuine self seeping through that. Like if you were to read my profile and then I didn't talk anything like my profile or I didn't use any of the words that I use in my profile, you're going to think, did ChatGPT write this? Like that's not Michael. That's not who he is. I've talked to him before. He likes to talk a lot. He wouldn't say 3 sentences. Make it about you. If you don't talk a lot, make it short and concise. Share a little bit of your story in there. Share some achievements over your career. Your About Me sections where you can kind of, spread a little bit of information about yourself, your career, how many years you've been working there. Like that is about you. That is a real thing you've done. You invested those years. Let people know you have expertise in those areas. So, by mentioning your current offering and starting by just introducing yourself and briefly mentioning your current offerings, your most recent experiences, your results, then you can highlight your key strengths and accomplishments. So like I was saying, this is where you're able to brag about yourself a little bit because it's your About You section. So be sure to use specific examples and persuasive language to sell yourself as the best partner for your ideal client in your About Me section. So in your About Me section, this is where you can kind of sell yourself a little bit. You don't want to go too much. You don't want to be salesy, but you can kind of sell yourself a little bit as why you're so good to work with. Why do they want to work with Michael? Why do they want to work with Tom? Why do they want to work with Tina? Why do they? Right? So make sure you're selling yourself a little bit there. Don't be salesy, but be honest. Just let them know, hey, I'm great to work with. I'm always available. I can always answer a phone call. What you need? You need advice? I got you. So finally, end with a call to action, such as inviting the reader to connect with you or learn more about your work. By taking the time to create a standout summary, you'll be one step closer to landing your target. So in my About Me section, if you were to go there, you would see I have 2 call to actions. 1, I have my calendar link. 2, I have my email in there. The reason I have those in there is because you're reading my About Me section and you think, okay, I actually kind of want to learn more about this, or, oh, well, hold on, he does this. I might benefit from that. I need some SEO work. I need some marketing work, and whatever it may be. You can reach out to me right then and there. You don't have to go searching through my profile. You don't have to connect with me and then wait forever. Like, you can just instantly email me. You can instantly schedule some time with me, and whatever you need, it's all right there. So small call to actions are really easy. So About Me section example. I'm going to read this guy's About Me section and just kind of go over, what I could break this down into. So your LinkedIn About Me section is one of the more important parts of your profile. So you want to make sure that it conveys your personal story compellingly. And there are several key elements to consider when crafting this part of your profile. So firstly, give an overview of yourself, why you do what you do, and you can include information on your current job or profession, any hobbies or interests that make up who you are. Additionally, I'd add this on as well. Share stories from your past that have influenced where you are today. For example, if you have a particular experience that pushed you toward entering a certain field or starting a certain business venture, share that. For me, I was going to school to be a therapist because I loved talking and I love talking to people. But about a month or 2 into my first semester at college, I got offered a internship at People Strategy, which you'll see on my profile. I was an intern there for about 6 or 7 months. Once I got into that sales field, I loved it. I absolutely loved just being able to talk to people. It was so much fun. I got to sit there, I got to email people, I got a cold call. It's not the best thing in the world, but I loved it. I loved talking. I loved that I could get paid to talk to people and just give advice, help people. That was so much fun to me. And right away, I knew this was going to be something that I want to do for the rest of my life. So let that be a story. Let people know that that's why where you are today is because of something that happened. So secondly, provide some details that make you unique. So again, being personal, being authentic. And here's an opportunity to kind of demonstrate your skills, your experiences, and your accomplishments in a relatable manner. Allow people to relate to you. When people feel that they can relate to you, they're going to want to reach out to you. If they can't relate to you, why would they want to talk to you? They know that you have nothing in common with them. So describe what makes you stand out from other professionals in your field and or industry, and why people should work with you rather than anyone else. Why, if I can't relate to you, why don't I go be friends with the guy over there who I can relate to way more? It's $5 more, but I got a really good relationship with him. I'm telling you, it matters at the end of the day, whether you can relate to someone, whether you have a relationship with someone. Sell yourself first before you start selling the product. As soon as someone loves you, there's so much easier to have a relationship once you're able to sell post-relationship. Once you have that relationship there, it's all good. That's why, if you ever watch The Office, Michael Scott, he does the bread basket, right? Or the candy basket. He gives the chocolate turtles out. He has all these different things that he's being personal with his clientele, with all the people he wants to talk to. He wants to be relatable. He wants them to love him, right? That's the great example of what to do. Finally, don't forget to include the call to action. Whether it's encouraging employers to contact you for job opportunities or fostering relationships just with your ideal clients, ensure that you provide an easy way for others to contact you. Again, in mine, I have my calendar link and I have my email, so you can reach out to me whenever you want. And always remember, your About Me section is just the perfect place on LinkedIn to show off who you are as a person and a professional. Make sure it reflects the best version of yourself. With these tips, you can craft an engaging About Me section that tells your story and helps you make more connections just by being personal and being who you are. So, for example here, but recently I got called out for not practicing what I preach. That is, telling my story and leveraging that and leveraging that to build an audience. My clients were right. So the challenge was accepted. I decided to focus on one platform, LinkedIn. And in just over 9 months, I've closed to 10 million views for my content. I've got close to 10 million views for my content, increased my audience to engaged followers, under 1,000 when I first started, one new business, launched a digital program, and helped others do the same thing. Through my flagship storytelling and content creation program, The Story Converter, I helped solopreneurs grow. So in this About Me section, you've already learned so much about this person. And again, this is just a random example that I pulled off that I thought was really good. The story you're able to relate to, you're kind of engaged by it. And even if you don't relate to it, it's still a story and you can still tell a lot about this person. Why are they doing what they're doing? Etc. So when you're thinking about your About Me section, take other ones that you find that you think are pretty good. Use them as the base plate. Use them as your template. Switch them up to make them you, but you can still use the template of what they are, or the skull. It's still going to be you at the end of the day. But if the frame is right, you can use that frame. There's absolutely no problem with that. So moving on to another very important part. I'd argue this may be the most important part, to be completely honest with you. Your profile picture. So use a professional headshot. No selfies, no vacation photos here. Okay, please, I love y'all, but make it a good photo. And honestly, everyone in this chat has got some pretty good photos. I'm not gonna lie. I like these. Like they're pretty good. They're not blurry. They're not zoomed in. They're not crazy. They're simple, good headshots. So show off your best side with a big, genuine smile, direct eye contact with the camera, all these things. It's also important to dress in like a business casual attire, nothing too fancy, but still appropriate for the workplace. Also remember, pick a neutral background that won't draw unnecessary attention away from you. And also ensure your photo has been edited for technical quality before uploading it. Super easy. Just make sure it's not super pixelated. Make sure the image gives off the best impression of who you are, and it's not just some blurry picture. Like I said, everyone in this chat actually has some really good photos. Like you have an easy background, you're smiling, you're looking at the camera, so that's pretty good so far on what I'm seeing. But just following these small tips will help you ensure and maintain a professional presence on LinkedIn and create an engaging profile that people just won't forget. When you have these crazy pictures like I'm about to show you here in a minute, you're going to be remembered, but not for the right reason, I promise. So we have the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's start by looking at some of the most common mistakes people make when they're making their profile pictures. First off, please don't set up for a selfie. And I don't mean if you're making it look good, because I'm telling you, these new iPhones, they make some pretty good pictures. Okay, let's be real. Like, paying a lot of money for that phone, and it actually makes some pretty good pictures. So if it can pass off as a professional headshot, by all means use it. But don't settle for a selfie. All right, a good LinkedIn profile picture should look professional and polished. Take some time to pose for a nice photo in front of the neutral background that won't distract your face. If the background's pulling away from your face, why would people look at your face? Make sure it's about you. Make sure it's you on your picture. So the next thing to avoid is using any type of filter on your photos. While they may make your profile stand out, those effects are only going to be hurting your credibility in the long run, as they tend to make your image just seem less professional and more like a Snapchat filter. It's just not a genuine photo. It's not who you are. It's not Tom. It's not Julie. It's not Michelle. It's not Michael. It's someone else. Let it be your genuine self. People love seeing you. Remember that. Okay. Finally, try not to make your profile photo in any outfit that might be considered, business professional. You want to be taken seriously on LinkedIn, so make sure you wear the part. Here are just a few examples of what not to do when it comes to taking your LinkedIn profile picture. So all the way on the right, we have the overly casual look. I don't know how much I need to explain about this, but that's the over casual look. So this is where someone forgets that everyone is going to see their picture and that it's not Facebook. All right. It's not Facebook. All right. I love y'all. It's not. So next, the crop out. This is the one in the middle. So a professional picture shouldn't be a crop out of some other picture that you took and cropped out your surroundings from 2004. So we also have the totally unprepared look. Don't do that as well. This includes wearing those bright colors such as neon yellow or hot pink. And you know what? If you're rocking hot pink for a professional photo, by all means, keep rocking it. If it looks good, it looks good. But be careful it's not drawing away the attention as the unprepared look. So having a messy room or a cluttered background in the photo also doesn't help, which I'm a terrible example of this probably when it comes to live streaming. But for a profile picture, if you go look at mine, I have a little fence in the background. It's a simple neutral background. Stuff like that can just help you to not make it look like, oh, we should be looking everywhere else but where this person's at. So finally, there is the I'm too cool for this look. And I know I may step on some toes here, okay? But this is when someone takes a photo of themselves with sunglasses and a giant smirk plastered across their face, all right? It can be off-putting to potential prospects or even employers, and it won't make you stand out in the best light. So make it a professional photo. It don't take more than 5-10 minutes to get pose up, smile big, look at the camera. It's not hard. I believe in y'all. So remember, take your LinkedIn profile picture seriously, please. It's super important. Put some thought into it. Take care to ensure that your image looks professional, polished, and appropriate. Now, when I say editing, by the way, I don't mean you got to hire someone to do it. I don't mean you got to go in there and make sure the brightness is right, the contrast is good, the darkness setting, the lightness setting, the sharpness, all that stuff. Like, you don't have to worry about all that. Just make sure it looks good when you upload it. Make sure it's not super pixelated. Make sure it's not cropped out. Make sure it's a clean cut photo of you. Now, I will caveat this by saying that if the fact that your brand is meant to be playful or target cat lovers like the guy all the way on the right, then you may have some leeway in bringing your cat into the frame. Otherwise, think about the audience. Think about the people you're talking to. If you were to really go up to your boss right now and say, hey, I got this new LinkedIn profile. It's pretty sweet. Hold my cat. You really think it's going to go over that well? So just know your audience. And if you know what, if that fits with your audience and you think you're going to get more attention that way, in a good way, by all means, be my guest. When you do it, send me a message. I'd love to see how you pull that off. So have you ever wondered about the LinkedIn section? Or I'm sorry. Let me go to the next slide for you guys. Have you ever wondered about the featured section on LinkedIn? If you go to my profile, I use it. If you go to anyone's profile that works with Grobot, we use it. We love it. It is fantastic, and I don't see enough of you guys using it. So I'm just going to kind of give you a couple of reasons why this tool can be super beneficial for your social selling efforts when it comes to LinkedIn. Reason one, the featured section. It allows you to highlight the content that is specific to your industry or field of expertise. It makes it easier for potential employers and clients to find relevant information about you and what you do, how you can help them, etc. So when you're in this section, think about how can I bring value to someone. Reason dos. You can show your best work in the featured section, which just helps visually demonstrate your skills and capabilities. And again, this is just to allow you to put your best foot forward. Again, it's just like if you were to make it your landing page for a website. If the first thing they see is that you got some posts in the featured section, you got some blogs down there, and you got some good looking thumbnails, they're going to know you're taking your work seriously. This will also give the people an idea of what they can expect from working with you. And most people just don't use this feature. And if you do, your profile, I promise you it will stand out. It'll help you just kind of give you the competitive edge in helping you attract more business opportunities. Again, I don't see enough people using this. I think it's a fantastic tool. I think it's completely underrated. If you go and see some of the biggest content creators on LinkedIn, you'll see they're all using it. If you go to see your buddy's profile, he may not be using it. The best thing to do is use this featured section. It's there for a reason. What's up from India? What's up, dude? I'm gonna highlight that. India, dude, that's awesome. So I think we're reaching everywhere today, man. Thank you for joining us here today. I appreciate that. All right. LinkedIn recommendations. So one of the most important things you can do is request recommendations from your current clients. The reason is because these recommendations should speak to your skills, experience, and results in order to give you potential employers a better idea of who you are as a professional. When people can see that other people have recommended you and liked working with you, it goes a long way. Word of mouth is one of the most powerful tools. So you want to make sure that you're continuing to utilize that. As soon as you do some good work, someone's all over it. They're loving it. They want to be your client forever. Let them give you a recommendation. that word of mouth goes so far. When they can click on a profile and see it's a real person that gave you a recommendation and they were super happy at the work you did with them, it's going to go so much further than anything you can say about yourself or about your work. So don't be afraid to ask your contacts and clients for recommendations, and make sure to include them in your profile. You just go down to your recommendation section and I'll include them. If someone sent you one, include it. You have to put it on there yourself. This will help you kind of stand out from other candidates and show that you're serious about your professional career. Again, this is allowing you to just stand out and make your presence be known. Let people know that you are serious about everything that you're doing. Let people know that other people have worked with you and they're not the first, and that people love working with you. As soon as you can point that out, people are going to want to work with you more and more. So the next part, how to prospect with LinkedIn. How do I do it? What do I need to do? I don't know what I'm doing. It's all right. I got you. This is my bread and butter. All right. So one of the most effective ways to prospect for potential customers is through LinkedIn. But how? Michael, how? How do I prospect on LinkedIn? Dude, I'm glad you asked. I am so glad you asked. Well, by building this comprehensive profile that accurately reflects who you are, your professional brand, and all those things, you can use the search function to find potential customers who match your ideal target market. Now, I don't mean just looking up target market. I mean talking about your target market, looking up specifically who those are. Who is that persona? Who is that person? What does that look like? Who does your ideal client look like? If you need help with that, again, reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you. Doesn't take more than 10 minutes. I guarantee you 10 minutes, and we can figure that out for you. So once you have identified prospects, it's important to start by engaging with them by sending personalized messages. This helps to start a conversation and build rapport with that prospect. Now, you can also engage with them further by liking and commenting on their posts, as well as just sharing content that they might find interesting or informative. As soon as you can bring value to someone, they will love to talk to you more. So if you can bring value to someone, why wouldn't they talk to you more? So lastly, it's essential to follow up after your initial conversation with these prospects. This will help to continue building those relationships, establishing trust. And if you're running into some time restraints, like many of us do, if we're being honest, there are a multitude of technology solutions that can help you stay on top of creating, posting, outreach, follow-up, video, so much more. Shameless plug, I can help you. Just saying, I would love to help you. If you have any questions about how I can help you, just reach out. I have tons of experience in this. I'd be more than happy to show you what I do day to day to stay up to date with all my clients and prospects. So I'm a huge fan of Sales Navigator, and I'm going to show you how to use it because I genuinely think it is one of the more powerful tools to ever grace the internet for all of us B2B professionals, especially if you're trying to utilize social selling. So this Sales Navigator tool provides a incredibly useful solution for this B2B prospecting problem that so many people run into. So it allows you to take professionals like you and I and quickly identify and easily identify valuable leads, create these tailored campaigns, track customer engagement all in real time. You can analyze your performance metrics and optimize your outreach efforts as well. And with Sales Navigator, you can also utilize powerful features like account targeting, which enables you to target specific accounts or industries with basically exact precision. It's fantastic. Additionally, the platform offers LinkedIn insights that provide you valuable data on your prospects and your accounts, giving you invaluable intelligence into their interests and buying habits. All these features make it really easy for professionals like you and I to reach out to potential customers quickly and very effectively while providing actionable insights into your customers' behavior. And ultimately, this helps ensure a maximum ROI on your marketing activities when used strategically. And again, if you need some help on how do I really use this strategically, I can set up a one-on-one with us. I'm more than happy to show you what I do day to day. So if you're looking for a more powerful tool to boost your B2B sales, Sales Navigator is by far one of my top choices. I would say it's the most excellent choice. So there are 3 versions of Sales Navigator. There's Sales Navigator Core, Sales Navigator Advanced, and Sales Navigator Advanced Plus. Now, come on, they're just like Apple. You have the 15 Pro Max, you have the 15 Pro, you have the 15 Max. They love their pluses, their advances, okay? I'm not saying they got super creative with the name, but they do work. All right. So first one, all on the left, Sales Navigator. Sales Navigator Core, It is the basic subscription tier. It provides you access to sales intelligence such as profiles, lists, and just insights as a whole. So it also allows you to connect and collaborate with their teammates using TeamLink, create searches and lists, view Salesforce records and in Sales Navigator. Schedule emails and with auto send and get notifications on news alerts. This is super helpful in just when you're trying to keep up with a specific industry, and also just some targets. If they have some general updates, it's really easy to just see what they're talking about. Again, I would just use this to follow up with people and just make sure that you're up to date. If you want to talk about something recently that happened in their industry, this is a super easy way to do that. On to the second one, Sales Navigator Advanced. So Sales Navigator Advanced adds more powerful features on top of those that help you just work more effectively together. It includes shared lists, so teams can collaboratively build contact lists, buyer intent alerts for getting insights into your company's interests in your product or solutions, smart links so users can package content in a single link, track the engagement, embed profile integrations, which is called Snap, if you're curious. And it embeds your profile integrations across your sales tech stack and CRM integration with Salesforce and I believe Microsoft Dynamics 365. I'm 99% sure about that one. So the third one, the big boy, Sales Navigator Advanced Plus. That's a mouthful. Sales Navigator Advanced Plus. This is the highest tier, supporting the enterprise-grade functionality. It includes all the features of Sales Navigator Advanced, as well as the additional features that integrate CRM information into Salesforce. Sales Navigator, and push Sales Navigator information into your CRM. This includes your auto saving for relevant leads from your CRM, viewing opportunity information and Sales Navigator, creating leads and contacts in your CRM right from Sales Navigator, data validation to flag your out-of-date records, ROI reporting to measure your revenue impact. Additionally, it'll also, administrators will have access to a sandbox environment for testing purposes. So if you want to ever figure out something, you're always able to do that. And for the majority of you, to be honest, you will not likely need anything beyond the core services, just the Sales Navigator core. And that costs $80 a month, $79.99. And it does have a free 1-month trial to test it. So if you ever are curious, you're like, will this really work for me? Feel free to throw in that free trial. It's 1 month, it's free, it will not charge you. And it's really, really nice to just kind of see, would I be able to use this? So I'm going to stop here for a second. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. If not, if I get some more thumbs up, I'm more than happy to answer any questions. If not, totally fine. Again, if you were to ask a question, I'll pop it up right here on the screen so everyone can see it. I'll put it in front of the class just like the teacher did. I'm just kidding. But if you do have any questions, I am more than happy to answer them. So I'll give you a few seconds here to either give me a thumbs up or ask some super intriguing question. I feel like I always have the caveat the Michigan Cup with I'm a UCF fan, in case someone from UCF sees this. All right, go Knights. All right. I'm not seeing any questions. I'm gonna go ahead and move on here. I think we got no questions so far. So again, I love it. I love when everyone's on the same page. Oh, there we go. Hey, Marcus. Yes. Yeah, this is all recorded. It'll all be playbackable. You can always play back, watch it. I wish I could add bookmarks. That's the one thing I wanted to do that I couldn't do for you. But yes, this will all be playback. You can always see it. It is recorded. Yes, sir. You can always go back and watch the entire thing. Pause it, whatever you need to do, come back to it. All good. Michelle said, I heard using ChatGPT can help with making content to make you sound like an expert on LinkedIn. Do you agree? Well, I think that LinkedIn specifically, you want to make sure that everything you are saying is true. So ChatGPT, while it can help you in maybe making some content, I I think that you need to make sure that what you're saying is fact checked at the end of the day, so it can give you a good outline, give you a good frame. If you think back to what I said earlier about the About Me section, if you were to see someone else's About Me section and you're like, okay, I really like what they're saying here, I like the style, you can use the framework. The framework's really well, but the actual information inside that framework is not Michelle's. Make it Michelle's. So ChatGPT can probably give you some useful insights into a few posts you would make. And I would say you can take that framework and you can use it. That's just fine. But I also would make sure that you're fact checking everything. And I would also make sure that when you're making these posts, that you're making sure they're relevant to the people you're talking to. As well as you're just using language that sounds like Michelle. ChatGPT is going to write it how ChatGPT would say it. Make sure you're saying it how Michelle would say it. So I'm not going to say it's a terrible idea. I would just say when you're making it, make sure that it's you speaking and it's not ChatGPT speaking. I hope that answers your question. So conducting research, how do I do it? So here's a few tips on how to use LinkedIn. Super simple. So in the B2B realm, conducting research on LinkedIn can be super valuable. By using these keyword searches and group searches, you can target businesses in your industry and learn more about their challenges, needs, all those kind of things. Additionally, company pages will also help you understand the size of an organization you may be targeting. By reading relevant articles through polls, you can even stay up to date on the trends in your field or industry. Lastly, super important here, identifying influencers. Identifying the influencers in your industry allows you to see what thought leaders are saying about the topics related to your industry. So with all this information at the tips of your fingers, it enables you to make those B2B professionals to make informed decisions when you're marketing products or services. With a better understanding of their target markets, wants, and needs, you can then create a more tailored experience and better serve them. Ultimately, this research can just help you increase your sales and grow your business. Yes, no problem, Michelle. Glad to help. So again, just making sure that you're looking at company pages, searching for relevant articles, checking out as many groups as you can. I think groups are super useful. And again, we'll have a grobot one come up here soon just for a lot of you guys to join. But also start off by doing a keyword search. It's super easy to do, and it gives you a ton of insight that you may not have thought of or seen otherwise. So to quote Julio Viscovich, and I am hoping that I said that right, social is not a place for a hard sell. It's a place to build trust and credibility. So social media is a super powerful tool to connect people, build relationships, and just share information. It's a great way to get a brand out there and just establish yourself as an authority in your chosen field. But one thing that many of you overlook is the importance of establishing trust and credibility on social media. So it's not about pushing products or services in people's faces. It's about engaging with people in a meaningful way and building relationships that will last the test of time. And that's a lie, okay? The time does not heal everything. That's a lie. I'm sorry. I got the words mixed up. So make sure that bond you have with that person is strong, because when you're able to make that strong bond, the relationship goes on forever, and you may never know what value you get out of that. I'm telling you, it's a fantastic bond to start. So how to sell on LinkedIn? When it comes to selling on LinkedIn, building relationships is the key. It's the magic key. The other day, I was just trying to make a connection with a potential customer, and instead of sending the generic message, I just took like an extra 5 minutes to personalize it. And I mentioned that we had some interests in common. I'm not going to say it was golf, but it was definitely golf. And I noticed that in a recent post, they had even that they had put out really resonated with something that I was recently thinking about. And then I just asked them how their business was doing. And this small stuff that I did that made it super personalized, it just allowed me to start off on the right foot and put a more friendly face on my pitch. As soon as you're able to relate to them, I know I've said this 1,000 times, as soon as you're able to relate to someone and they can relate with you, they're going to want to build a relationship with you, and they're going to want to stick around. So I also shared some other valuable content that was related to their industry. It was informative, but not too salesy. And this showed them that I was able to bring value to them as potential customers. And in addition to showing off my knowledge on the subject of the matter, of course you have to do that. And throughout all of this, I made sure to remain as professional as I could, avoiding any language or a tone that can be like assertive or kind of aggressive, like I was trying to sell them on this, like, oh, I can super help you. I was just being helpful. So by taking the time to build relationships and provide informative content, personalized messages, all these things, I was able to build them into a one-on-one virtual Zoom call. And to continue that conversation even further, I can bring in some more value. So this is why it's important to remember, like when you're selling on LinkedIn, that relationship that you're building right now, it's so helpful. And it should come before trying to even push your product or services too hard. As soon as you try to sell someone as hard as you possibly can on LinkedIn, they're going to leave. So if you come across as too salesy, think about it this way. If you come across too salesy, it could cost you potential customers. It just can. And if you do it right, however, LinkedIn can be like the most effective way to sell your products and services. Coming from someone that uses LinkedIn every day, I promise you, I have many people who have even told me, I didn't believe you when you first said it. After I started listening, it was crazy the amount of success that I saw. So everyone on LinkedIn is looking for something different. So if you want to make the most of your presence on the platform, you need to be clear about what it is. You need to make it clear about what you have to offer. Not being too salesy, but just making it clear what you're about. So, for example, say you're a software consultant that works with CPA firms, rather than just posting general updates about your product or services all the time. Think about it as your target market, your target audience is your tailored. You should tailor your posts to your target market each time. As because you want them to be the ones who resonate the most with it. You want to make sure that it's speaking specific to them. How can you talk to those pain points? How can you talk to the things that you solve? How is your persona going to react to this post? Are they going to interact with it any? If they're not, maybe you need to change it to make sure they're going to interact with it. So if you become a solid resource for their problems, they will eventually just start paying attention to what you're sharing and begin to engage, research, and maybe even reach out. Maybe they'll start paying you for your advice even at that point. If you're providing enough value, I'm in no doubt that they will. In addition, just make sure that you have a strong call to action in your post so that your potential customers can easily take the next step. This can be as simple as providing like a link to your website or a blog where they can just learn more about your services. Again, call to actions are super important and super easy to put in these things. This is where you can maybe use ChatGPT a little more effectively. Speaking to Michelle's question a little bit, that she had earlier about ChatGPT, can it be helpful in making content? Also, I just realized my mic was kind of far away. Sorry about that. ChatGPT can maybe help you when it comes to making these call to actions a little more personal. You can say, have a call to action and then put the post in there that you're making and then say, how can I have a call to action? And then just tell the bot what you want the call to action to be. Again, not perfect, but it can give you a good framework as to what your call to action should be. Super easy to do. So lastly, once you've made the connection with someone on LinkedIn, I would, again, encourage you to take the conversation off the platform. Having an in-depth conversation about your products or services over video, email, or even just the phone, it can help potential customers get a better understanding of what it is that you have to offer. This is often the best way to show off your expertise and to help customers make an informed decision. So when you're texting someone, how often do you just mess up whatever you're saying, or this tone was just completely taken the wrong way? It happens all the time. And I don't even text that much, but I'm telling you, I've said some things and I was like, well, that's not really what I meant, but it came across completely different, right? That's why just in person, we're over the phone or on a call, we're in a webinar, so much easier to understand someone because you're able to hear their voice, their tone, you understand the context. It's just easier as opposed when you're reading a text. So how do I social sell on LinkedIn? I'm, again, glad you asked. Social selling on LinkedIn is, it can be a super great way to engage with your audiences, build those relationships. For example, let's say you're running an executive coaching firm. You can use LinkedIn as a polling to ask your connection requests interesting questions about their career path, what challenges they're facing in their industry, or how they've stayed motivated for so long. This just allows you to start a conversation and get to know your connections better. You may also use LinkedIn Live, to host your live video broadcast that allow you to have to give advice. I hope I'm bringing some advice to y'all. Answer questions. I think I've answered a few questions, and interact with your followers in a real time. Again, all stuff we're doing here.
Finally, utilize listicle posts to break down your complex topics into an easy to read format that will engage your audience. Just by sharing these insights, you can then position yourself as a thought leader and build trust with your connections. And again, with social selling on LinkedIn, you can create meaningful relationships with your followers and drive that is just real personal. Now, you just want to make sure when you're talking to them in this real time that you know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, people are going to hear it. Again, going back to what I was saying earlier, being authentic, being you. If you're confident you know what you're talking about, feel free to make these posts. People are going to trust you. People like you. They accepted your connection request for a reason, okay? So as a continuation onto the last slide, the important thing to think about when you find what works for your audience, help them understand that's opportunity. It exists to improve your results, your business, your revenue, or life. As soon as they see that and you're really bringing them value, they're going to continue to talk to you. If you got $5 from a machine every time you press a button, why would you ever stop pressing the button? If you're always getting value, you're never going to leave. So not all of your posts will lead to next steps, demos, closed leads, billion-dollar deals, but everyone should help your ideal clients improve. You should always be helping to improve their lives, increasing their knowledge, understanding, and just reaching their overall goals. Again, the example that I pulled up just a second ago about the on the last slide when I was talking about using the polling. That's something that we've seen people do. We've seen people use polling just as an easy way to get out there and understanding who they're talking to. It's a super easy thing to do. Just interact with the small part of your connections. So battling time poverty. This is another big one that we see a lot that comes up quite a bit. So for many of you, you'll be able to take everything I share with you today and implement it. Be super consistent and not struggle with this at all. While others of you will struggle on the technical or creative sides. Either way, we all struggle with having enough time to do it all, to do it all and sufficiently do it all. So if you need any help with any of the following things like the profile copywriting, content creation, graphic design, post management, community management, advertising, campaign planning, target just outreach as a whole, make sure to reach out to me so that I can help you. I'm more than happy to show you what I do on my day-to-day stuff. I do all of this day-to-day. So I'm more than happy to show you how I do my processes and how I handle all this. It's super easy. I wouldn't take more than 15 minutes of your time. So as we're nearing the end right here, I just wanted to ask everyone today who spent, it's about an hour and 4 minutes. Hour and 4 minutes is what our timer's at. I appreciate all you who stuck around. I really do. Even if you're just watching this back, I appreciate you taking your time to watch this. I really do. So if you were to grade your current utilization of LinkedIn today on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll take a moment to see where everyone lands. Where would you put yourself on the 1 to 10? Again, just don't be embarrassed. Be honest. If you ask me how good I was at golf, for example, I'd say I'd hover between the red cliff to the left, a little maybe off the cliff a little bit. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But kidding aside, the most important thing, if we're honest with ourselves, is just being honest. Like as soon as you're honest with yourself, that's where you can start. A 5, that's not bad at all. Okay, 5's pretty good. 5's a pretty good starting point. I'd say when I started out with LinkedIn, I was a solid 2. And you slowly just build up. You learn more and more over time. When you spend so much time, you'll continue to learn and learn, right? It's all about where you invest your time, where you invest your heart. Yeah, it's all about investing, understanding and learning. But it really is all about being honest with yourself. So that way you can start to build on that understanding and those abilities just daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. I mean, you're always going to be learning. This is also an excellent time for you to ask any questions. If you guys have any questions, I would absolutely love if you guys had any questions. I'm here to answer them. Tina's a 1. Hey, listen, you have to start somewhere. As long as you're honest, that's a great place to start. There's plenty of things. If you need a one-on-one time, I'd be more than happy to schedule some time with you. You can just hit me up on my email, which I will have up on screen. So sadly, as you see, we have Troy's picture here. Troy was supposed to be here today, but due to some scheduling conflicts, My fault. He couldn't be here today, which is totally fine. But LinkedIn is the host of the What the Tech podcast. If you're interested, go over there, check him out. Awesome dude. Absolutely love him. Troy does have over 20 years of experience in the B2B sales realm. And he's endorsed this quite a bit. He's been active on LinkedIn since 2010, 11, somewhere around there. I think his upwards of like 25,000 followers. And he can attest to the fact that LinkedIn has been one of the most powerful tools in his arsenal. He said, to quote him, that he is not sure what he would have done without it. Maybe door-to-door bookshelves or something. Well, thank you guys for watching, listening, for anyone who stayed the entire time. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out. My email's on the screen here, michael@grobot.online. If you have any questions or just want a few minutes to be able to talk, maybe see if I can help you with anything, I'm more than happy to do that. Thank you guys so much for your time today. Bye-bye.